Hey everyone, it's Dr. Sebastian Purcell here, the founder of 1.2 Labs, and in this video I want to show you how I've been making money and teaching my followers to make money while they sleep using bots, trading meme coins on Solana. At the top is a result of just a manual trade using the Bonk bot, and I'm going to show you how to set that one up in this video because I said I would show everyone how to do a setup video for bots. I'm going to show you how I set up my Bonk bot there so that I can trade quickly. That's just a profit and loss there of 123%, small amount, but it's a proof of concept idea. And that's the sort of thing that I think most people are going to want to do with this is use small amounts to get, a little bit of extra money. It's kind of fun. At the bottom, what you'll see is I used two different cases of using the Unibot, now called Trojan so it's this Unibot on Solana. They didn't want to confuse things. And it has this whole Greek theme now, but the Trojan bot there, you can set to run overnight, which is what I did in those cases. The one on the left there made a little bit over 100%. It had 4 buys and 2 sells. I was learning how to set things up with that one. I closed it out shortly thereafter to profit, right? But it was nice to wake up to 2x return. The one on the right, you'll see that I made a little bit over 11x return with 38 buys and 58 sells. That was a smaller coin. It kind of got it a little bit earlier. All of these are coins that I think make sense, and I'll show you kind of how I pick them. But the nice thing is that in those two cases, I set the bot, went to bed, woke up to profits. And that is the point of this video, is to explain how I set up my bots so you can do it too. All right, everyone, let's get to it. Before we get started, I need to address something really important. This is not financial advice. Please go consult your own financial professionals for any of that. I, in fact, do work as a financial professional. I run a cryptocurrency hedge fund, 1.2 Capital Management. That's my day job. I've been trading algorithmically since I was 20. Before I was a fund manager, I was a professor, and one of my areas of specialty was mathematical logic. So I know what I'm doing in that space. This is nothing like that. These are meme coins, and I'm teaching you how to trade meme coins using bots, but this is more like me teaching you the principles of how to count cards before you go to a blackjack table, okay? This is gambling. If you want to learn about other investing principles, I have courses and lots of writing that teaches you about investing principles, but we're not doing that right now. We're doing gambling. So if you're still here and you want to go forward, you just got to be clear on that, okay? Gambling. We good? All right, let's do it. Okay, so we need 3 points to set all of this stuff up. As a reminder, this is actually the third of these dumb videos that I've made, and in the first one I explain how to go check some key indicators to assess whether or not the macroeconomy is all right. Dr. Todd May and I, on a weekly basis, kind of round up all of these points, and it's in our newsletter. So if you want to do that and just get it for free in your inbox, go ahead and subscribe down below. We'll do that for you. But the key point there is just to make sure that the macroeconomy is doing all right. If it is, then you can move on to the next stage, which is checking the underlying coin. Now, since we're trading on Solana, we want to make sure that Solana's price volume is going up, ideally, or at least sideways-ish. If it's going down, no meme coins are going to make any money, or very few of them will. And meme coin makers don't even like launching their coins if it's trending down. So we want ideally multiple green candles going up, or at least sideways action. If those conditions are met, then you want to look at the meme coin itself. And we divide meme coins into 3 different kinds: wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3. All right, a wave 1 coin has the most risk and the most reward. If you get in really early, we're talking seconds after they launch, it can go way up, like 100, 200x. Because you're getting in, at $1,000 market cap, all right? And if it goes to 200K, you made a 200x return. That is possible. You got to really be on top of those, and you know what you're doing. But that's that first wave up, and then you'll see it pulls back down. After that sell-off, you get my favorite kind of coin to trade if I'm going to actively trade anything, and that's the second wave coin. These coins tend to have far fewer rugs or scams because those all died off already, right? If it makes a wave 2 coin, typically it's not going to be a scam. And then you can trade it. There's less reward typically, but there's also a lot less risk. And that's a second kind of trade that you can look at. You will be taking your profits sequentially as you move out of that. The third wave is it pulls back again. Most coins don't really make it into a third wave or more, right? If you do get a third wave, that's where the coin is trying to really make it, like one of the big coins like Bonk or Pepe or whatever, right? And those coins typically have a completely different setup, right? So you're not so much betting on number go up with wave 3. I've found that it's better to use different strategies. So with that in mind, I'm going to explain how I set up the bots for those waves at a high level, but I wanted to make clear that these 3 points, first check macroeconomy, then check the price of Solana, then be sure what kind of coin, like trade your setup is. That is all preliminary work you need to do before you even try to set your bots up to trade anything. All right. So now let's look at a high level, how you set your bots up. At this stage in the presentation, I want to give you some honest feedback. You're going to run into a problem. If you're looking to automate Wave 3 coins, the hardest thing is finding good Wave 3 coins. You can learn the techniques that I'm teaching you here, and you can learn to search for them yourselves. But if you want to save some time, here are 2 options. One of them, and it's a free option, is just to join our Discord community. Link down in the description below. If you go to the Moonshots channel, there will be people discussing Wave 3 coins there. That's a good place to go. The other thing you can do is you can buy the cheapest of our paid tiers, the Alpha Writer tier, for $15 a month, and have a team of people weekly give you a report that has some of this stuff in it. Again, none of this is a recommendation. They're just collating publicly available data for you and saving you time. The other thing that they do is in a premium channel on Discord, they drop some of that for our members so that people can trade those if they want. Either of those options is viable. I just wanted to tell you the truth. That's going to be the real sticking point in all of this. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, at a really high level here, we're going to use 2 different kinds of bots because we're after 2 different kinds of strategies, and that will dictate the setup that we're going to use. You can watch other YouTubers that set things up in different ways, and they probably have their reasons. These setups work for these kinds of trades. All right. So when you're looking at a wave 1 or wave 2 style meme coin, and you can see an example there, these are trades that might last somewhere between 8 minutes and 30 minutes at a maximum. And you're usually looking at a 1 second or a 5-minute chart, kind of switching back and forth between them. The goal is to capitalize on the rise as they shoot up, sell out progressively, and be done before they collapse. These are really early, unestablished coins, and most of them collapse. Even if it's not a rug pull, most of them just die out. As a result, it's better to trade these manually, and you should use the Bonk bot. For Wave 3 style trade or longer, which is what you see there, these are much slower. You're looking at maybe 5 minute, maybe 1 hour, maybe even the 4-hour chart. You're going to be trading these things for 12 hours. And nobody ever does like live sessions of trading these things because you're going to have to wait. They're very slow. Your goal in this case is actually to capitalize on intraday volatility. The coin is going up and down a lot during the day, and because you're dollar cost averaging in, you get a really low volume, like a value, and then your bot sells out progressively. That way you can make money typically between 200 and maybe 300% while you sleep. That's really the goal. If things go poorly, of course, don't ever, and with all of this, don't ever invest more than you can afford to lose. All right. So when you're doing a Wave 3 style trade, because they take so long and because they are so slow, it makes sense to automate them. And for that, we're going to use the Unibot. It's the best of all of the bots that I've tried. So let's go to setting them up. All right, so this is my setup with the Bonk bot. I've obviously got this running on a desktop version of Telegram. Now, that's me. This is my Bonk bot. You'll notice I have the 2 default positions here. There's a third one here. I'm following with a community member on the Taylor Swift Dibbles cat meme coin on Solana. This is just a long-term hold. I want to see if they can turn it around, and I'm willing to bet all of 0.56 Sol on that. Right. This is the basic setup of the Bonk bot once you install it in your Telegram account. All right. My referral link is down below this so that you can get cheaper trades. There are 2 kinds of bots out there. Some bots charge you a flat monthly fee. Most of them just charge you a little percentage over what your trade is. So every single trade you get a little fee. If you use a referral link from someone, your fee will be less. That's why you want to use a referral link. Most of what we have to do is here in settings. So you go ahead and click settings, and this gives you mostly what I've got going on here. My minimum position value. I don't have auto buy on, right? That disabled. You can change each one of these, left, right, my sell buttons by left and right. This is configured for really wave 1 stuff, very small buys in both cases. You'd want something else for a wave 2 buy, and obviously we don't even use the Bonk bot for a wave 3, but typically a wave 2 buy you're going to have bigger buys. So relative to the amount that I have in this, I would want a little larger sizes. I do like 25% and 100% selling out. Coin slippage is set at 10% in both cases. Max price impact is 15%. Turbo for my priority here, for my speed. And yeah, that for my Solana transaction priority. That makes this super fast to execute, and that is why you want to do that. Okay, so that is more than the typical amount that I've entered there, but speed matters tremendously in wave 1 and wave 2 coins, so that's what you want. All right, beyond that, you are just going to have to set things up. So here, if I wanted to trade one of these, you would simply copy and paste the address right down here below, and it would bring it up. Then I would be able to manage some of these. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have to blur out my wallet account. Okay, so what we have right there is a Bonk position, and you'll notice that I can either buy or sell on the Bonk bot or the actual Bonk coin. This is another one that they like, which is Cecil, and this is the third position that I have. I told you about the Taylor Swift coin. In any of these cases, I could hit buy, I could hit sell at, notice this one, if it's a sell at X% or buy at X, you can just put that down here if you want to use that. They integrate with Bird Eye for you, and that's kind of helpful. They're supposed to allow you to scan some things, but again, I find that rug check is the best. In any case, that is the basics of how I set up the Bonk bot. And basically, if I'm just trading, I'm actually looking at the chart, and then I just hit this here to buy and progressively sell out. I usually use the 25%. And then once I've mostly sold out, I sell out at the end. The 100%. The problem is that the 100% is a bigger sell, and so you are more likely to get your transaction rejected with a bigger sell. So lots of small 25% sells along the way, typically smarter in my experience. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and look at the next setup, which is the Unibot, now renamed the Trojan bot on Solana. Okay, this is the Unibot that I have now, Trojan, on Solana. This is the main menu, and I want to point a couple of things out about this because it's a little counterintuitive. One of them is that they have all of these additional bots down here, which you'll actually want to click on and use when you execute your orders. Now, you can do all of the settings here, go back to the main menu, do this, and then click buy when you're ready. But these are alternative bots. Notice they're all Greek themed. That's why they went with the Trojan, because they were getting overwhelmed under one bot. That's why I wanted to point out that the Bonk bot is better than the Unibot. There are a lot of users on the Unibot, so it tends to be slower in execution. So if you're really trading things manually, this is not an ideal bot. If, on the other hand, you're doing a lot of stuff in an automated way for a Wave 3 coin, this has all of the features you need. Unfortunately, they're a little confusingly laid out, at least in my opinion. So I'm going to try to show you how to get by. The first thing you'll want to do is work on settings. So here are your settings, and I want to point some of this out. Yours won't look initially like this. You have to change from simple mode to advanced mode to make it look like this. Next, for the speed of execution, I have 0.0085. I want this to execute well, but I don't need 2 or 3 second execution. I don't have MEV protection on because that tends to slow everything down. Auto buy is really for like sniping things. Okay, so you click on that if you want to snipe things, and you kind of have to know the addresses in advance. Then as soon as they go live, this will auto buy them for you. That's really what the sniping idea is for. We're not using it for that. Confirm trades will slow things down. Auto sell, I am going to go through that with you. But before I do, I think we need to talk about your actual buy and sell settings here. So this is if you're going to do it manually, right? And sometimes you will manually enter one of these positions and then leave auto sell on so you can make your money overnight while you're sleeping. So it's worth setting these up. So that's what I have set up for my buy amounts here. You can change each one of them. Again, this wallet only has 3 SOL in it. So do with that what you will. This is sort of the proportions I have for 3 SOL. I think because you're trading Wave 3 coins, you could probably do more with that. I'm just having fun with these things, right? And teaching my community how to do this. So, you know, buy 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, 1 SOL, 2 SOL. Set max slippage to 15%. You know, since this is slow enough, I might want to change that. So I click on it and go to like 10. That changes it to 10. That's a little better. Okay, so let's go back. Sell settings, sell amounts. If I'm going to do this, 50, 100%, sure. I don't really even use the sell because I'm only ever trading Wave 3 coins, and I definitely use the auto sell setups. But this is fine. This is kind of the default settings for this. Now that we've got that out of the way, the one thing you do want to do is turn on auto sell. Yours won't look like this initially. You have to turn it on, make sure you do. Yours will be empty. You have to add the order. When you do, it'll give you kind of blank pieces for each one of these. So you have to go ahead and set it every single amount in. So you click this one, hit 50%, that means it takes profit at 50% and it'll sell out 25% of your position. At 100, it'll sell out another 25%, you get the idea, all the way up to 300. This doesn't add up to 100% of your total portfolio, meaning I like to let my Wave 3 coins ride out their gains and I manually close them out when I wake up in the morning. I set my slippage to 10%. Why? Because we're trading Wave 3 coins and they're relatively slow. That's fine. That has to be on though for this to work. Now that we've got all of that set up, we can go back home. And what we're looking at here is what we'll have to do for entering our actual position. For the most part, the way that you make money on a Wave 3 coin is through dollar cost averaging in. Remember that your goal with Wave 3 coins, for the most part, is to capitalize on intraday volatility. These are directional bets. You're hoping that long term they go up, but for the most part, you want to dollar cost average your way in so that your directional bets make sense. So you hit the DCA and it says, look, you have no active orders. So that's where you could check for it. In order to set this up, you actually have to go to buy. There's a token address to the Bowden meme coin, which I've made some money on. I don't know if I'd trade it right now, but I've made money on this thing in the past. One of the reasons for it is that it has Captain Levy. He was like a tier 1 crypto influencer behind it, so that made a lot of sense to me. As soon as I saw that on Twitter, I was like, okay, I'm going in for this. I let my community know about that pretty immediately, and they all got in on it. So notice I have dollar cost average set, and I set how much it's going to buy every time at this amount. You can change this. 10% slippage, fine. Interval, you'll need to click interval right here so that you can change how often you want it to buy in. So this is set for 5 minutes and the duration is an hour. You could set min and max price, but I don't because I want a dollar cost average in. If I did this and I hit create order right now, it would start dollar cost averaging in by buying in 0.02 SOL every 5 minutes for an hour. So that would only be 12 buys of 0.02 SOL. I don't know if that would make a lot of sense, honestly. You just have to figure out how much you want to invest. Now, if you don't watch it, it will invest all of the money that you have in your portfolio. So if I have 3 SOL in here and I tell it to do this for a long period of time, it'll just dollar cost average until I run out of money in my wallet to buy more. Okay, it doesn't pull from some specific pool, it pulls from all of the coins you have in your wallet. So be aware of that. This is 5-minute intervals for an hour. there will be 12 buys. So I will multiply that by the amount that I have. See, if I put a 2 SOL, it's going to run out really quickly. Like a 1 SOL, I'm going to run out after 3 trades. Okay, so just make sure you do your basic math. How much do you want to accumulate over that period of time? If I'm doing this, typically I wouldn't do an hour, right? I would do something like 12 or 8 if I'm going, so I'm going to bed. There we go. Now it's going to make 12 buys an hour for 8 hours. Okay, that might make a little more sense. And that'll dollar cost average me in over the night. I wake up the next morning, I see what the position is like. It instantly sells out if I start making money on the sell settings, right? Because I have auto sell set up, so it'll sell out, take all my profits, and then what I can do if I want is manually sell out. And that's why I typically just hit sell and then just do 100% and close out the trade. And that is how I let these things run overnight, and that is how I make money in my sleep. I've done this multiple times. You've seen that I've done this multiple times, and that's all there is to it. Okay, so that's it. Now you know how to set up your Bonk bot if you're going to trade manually, and I find that's best for wave 1 and wave 2 coins, and how to set up your Unibot, now the Trojan bot, in order to trade wave 3 coins, and that's how you can make 2x or more while you sleep. I hope that rounds it out for you all. If you have questions, please feel free to ask me. Remember, the links are in the description below. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.